Imagine standing in a crowded room, eyes scanning the faces, and suddenly, you lock onto someone who draws you in like a magnet. What if I told you that the secret to that magnetic pull lies not in flashy clothes or rehearsed lines, but in the ancient wisdom of Stoicism? Picture this: 5 powerful steps that can transform not just how you attract others, but how you view yourself in the process. Ever felt like you're shouting into the void, desperate for connection? What if the key to being irresistible is about more than just charm? What if it's about embracing your inner strength and wisdom? As we dive deeper, think about this. What does it mean to be truly attractive? Is it just about looks, or is there something deeper at play? Each step we'll explore today is a tool, a weapon in the art of seduction that goes beyond the superficial. Stay with me as we peel back the layers of attraction, revealing insights from the Stoics that can elevate your presence and allure. Ready to discover how to captivate hearts and minds with the power of wisdom? Let's get started. Before we begin, don't forget to like our content. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, I'd like to invite you to subscribe. Step 1. Self-knowledge and self-acceptance. There's something incredibly powerful about taking the time to understand yourself. It's like peeling back the layers of an onion. Each layer reveals more about who you are, what you value, and what drives your emotions. When I started this journey of self-discovery, I realized how important it is to embrace not just the positive aspects of myself, but also the flaws and insecurities. Accepting these parts of me has been liberating. It's a reminder that I'm not perfect, nor do I need to be. Self-acceptance isn't just about liking ourselves. It's about acknowledging our feelings and desires without judgment. For example, I used to feel ashamed of wanting certain things or having specific emotional responses. But as I learned more about self-acceptance, I found that it's entirely normal to have these feelings. Embracing my emotions allowed me to develop a deeper understanding of my motivations. I began to see my desires as valid rather than as weaknesses. This shift was crucial for building a solid foundation of self-esteem. Moreover, self-knowledge fosters authenticity. When you truly understand your values and desires, it becomes easier to express yourself genuinely. I remember a time when I was trying to fit into a mold that didn't resonate with who I am. It was exhausting. Once I started accepting myself, I noticed how much easier it became to interact with others. I wasn't trying to be someone I wasn't. I was simply being me. And guess what? People responded positively to that authenticity. This journey isn't a one-time event. It's ongoing. I still find myself reflecting on my emotions and values regularly. It's almost like a habit now. Each time I take a moment to check in with myself, I discover something new. This process has not only enhanced my self-esteem, but has also made me more resilient in the face of challenges. I've learned to stand firm in my identity, which is empowering. Ultimately, self-knowledge and self-acceptance have laid the groundwork for every other aspect of my life. They are the bedrock upon which I build my relationships, my goals, and my aspirations. When you accept who you are, you free yourself from the chains of others' expectations. And that, my friend, is where true authenticity begins. Let's talk about empathy for a moment. It's something that I've come to see as one of the most valuable virtues we can cultivate. It's not just about being kind or nice. It's about genuinely trying to understand where another person is coming from. I remember the first time I really grasped the concept of empathy. I was in a heated discussion with a friend, and instead of jumping to defend my point, I decided to listen. That simple act opened up a whole new level of connection between us. Practicing empathy has transformed how I relate to others. I've learned to pause and make an effort to step into someone else's shoes. It's remarkable how this can change the dynamics of a conversation. When I approach interactions with a mindset focused on understanding rather than judgment, it creates a safe space for others to express themselves. I found that people are often more willing to share their thoughts and feelings when they feel heard and understood. Empathy has also deepened my relationships in ways I never anticipated. It's like a ripple effect. The more I practice it, the more I notice it reflected back at me. Friends and family have started to reciprocate that same understanding, creating a supportive environment where we can all be vulnerable. These connections have become invaluable. They remind me that we're all navigating this crazy journey called life together. Moreover, empathy enhances our emotional intelligence. The more I understand others, the better I can manage my own emotions. I've found that being attuned to the feelings of those around me helps me respond more thoughtfully rather than reacting impulsively. This has been particularly useful in challenging situations. Instead of getting defensive, I can approach conflicts with a more balanced perspective. In a world that often feels divided, empathy is a powerful tool for fostering connection and understanding. It reminds us that at the core of our differences, we all share the same basic human experiences: love, fear, joy, and sadness. By embracing this perspective, I've found a greater sense of community and belonging, which enriches my life in so many ways. Step 2. Emotional control and resilience now. Let's dive into emotional control and resilience. I'll be honest, mastering these skills hasn't been an easy journey for me. There was a time when my emotions would dictate my reactions, and I often found myself overwhelmed in challenging situations. However, as I began to understand the importance of managing my emotions, I realized that it's not about suppressing them, but rather about acknowledging and channeling them in a constructive way. One of the key lessons I've learned is that it's perfectly okay to feel a range of emotions. Whether it's anger, sadness, or frustration, these feelings are valid. But rather than allowing them to take control, I've started to practice techniques that help me maintain my composure. For instance, I've found that taking a deep breath and giving myself a moment to reflect before reacting has made a world of difference. It's amazing how a little pause can lead to a more thoughtful and measured response. Resilience has become a kind of superpower for me. There have been moments in my life when I've faced significant challenges, and instead of crumbling under the pressure, I've learned to adapt and bounce back. This doesn't mean that I don't feel the weight of adversity. It just means that I've developed a toolbox of strategies to help me navigate through it. Whether it's leaning on my support system, practicing mindfulness, or reframing my perspective, I've discovered that resilience is built over time. Another benefit of emotional control is how it enhances my interactions with others. When I'm calm and composed, I become more attractive and approachable. People are naturally drawn to those who exude confidence and stability. I've noticed that when I can regulate my emotions, it creates a ripple effect in my relationships. Friends and family feel more comfortable approaching me with their own challenges, knowing that I can lend a listening ear and offer support without being overwhelmed. Ultimately, mastering emotional control and resilience is an ongoing process. I'm still learning, and I embrace the journey. Each challenge I face presents an opportunity for growth. As I continue to refine these skills, I find myself becoming a more self-assured and empathetic individual. And that's a journey I wouldn't trade for anything. When it comes to communication, I've come to realize that it's an art form, one that requires practice, intent, and, most importantly, active listening. I used to think that being a good communicator meant talking a lot and making my points clear. But I've learned that the real magic happens when you listen deeply and attentively. It's fascinating how much more effective conversations become when both parties are fully engaged. Active listening is a skill that I've worked hard to develop. It goes beyond just hearing the words someone is saying. It's about being present in the moment and genuinely trying to understand their perspective. I've found that when I focus on the speaker, making eye contact, nodding, and responding thoughtfully, it creates a sense of connection that fosters trust and openness. This practice has enriched my relationships and allowed for more meaningful exchanges. Moreover, effective communication isn't just about speaking. It's about conveying thoughts and feelings with clarity and intention. I've learned that choosing my words carefully can make a significant difference in how my message is received. For example, instead of using vague language, I strive to be specific about my feelings and needs. This not only helps others understand me better, but also encourages them to share their own thoughts more openly. I've also discovered the importance of nonverbal communication. Body language, facial expressions, and tone of voice play a crucial role in how our messages are conveyed. I've made a conscious effort to align my nonverbal cues with my spoken words. When I'm genuinely engaged in a conversation, it reflects in my demeanor, making others feel valued and heard. This alignment has deepened my connections and fostered a sense of mutual respect in my interactions. In a world filled with distractions, the art of effective communication and active listening is more vital than ever. I've found that when I approach conversations with the intent to understand and connect, it enriches not only my relationships, but also my overall experience of life. Each interaction becomes an opportunity to learn, grow, and foster deeper connections with those around me. Let's talk about aesthetics and personal presentation for a moment. Some might say it's superficial, but I've come to understand that how we present ourselves physically can significantly impact how others perceive us, and even how we perceive ourselves. It's about more than just looking good. It's about aligning our outward appearance with our inner values and authenticity. For me, it started with recognizing the importance of simplicity and authenticity in my presentation. I used to think that I needed to wear flashy clothes or follow every trend to be noticed or accepted. But as I embraced the principles of Stoicism, I realized that simplicity can be incredibly powerful. Choosing clothes that resonate with who I am rather than what's in has been a game changer. It's liberating to showcase my personality without feeling the pressure to conform to societal expectations. Moreover, personal presentation extends beyond clothes. It encompasses grooming, hygiene, and even posture. I've learned that taking care of myself physically not only boosts my confidence, but also sends a message to others that I value myself. When I put thought into how I present myself, I feel more empowered in social situations. It's amazing how a simple change in my grooming routine can enhance my self-esteem and how others perceive me. Step 3. Emotional control and resilience. When I think about emotional control and resilience, I can't help but reflect on the moments in my life when everything seemed to be spiraling out of control. There was a time when I would let my emotions dictate my reactions. If something didn't go my way, I wore my heart on my sleeve, and honestly, it showed. There's a certain power in learning to manage those emotions, though. It's like having a set of tools that allows you to navigate the chaos of life without losing your cool. Being resilient doesn't mean being emotionless. Far from it. It's about acknowledging those feelings, processing them, and then deciding how to respond rather than react impulsively. I remember a particularly tough day at work when everything felt overwhelming. Instead of letting frustration take the wheel, I took a deep breath, stepped back, and assessed the situation. That moment of pause made all the difference. It allowed me to approach my colleagues with a clear mind and a sense of purpose, which helped to foster a more collaborative environment. It's fascinating how emotional control can influence how others perceive you. People are drawn to those who exhibit calmness under pressure. When you can maintain your composure, it sends a message that you're confident and capable. I've noticed this firsthand in social situations. When I stay cool while others are panicking, it not only makes me feel more secure, but also attracts others who might be looking for guidance or support. There's an unspoken respect that builds when you can navigate tough moments with grace. Resilience also plays a critical role in personal growth. Each challenge I face becomes an opportunity to learn and improve. I've learned to treat setbacks as stepping stones rather than stumbling blocks. For instance, when faced with criticism, instead of letting it deflate me, I try to extract the constructive elements and use them to fuel my development. It's a mindset shift that has transformed how I approach difficulties. Rather than fearing failure, I now see it as a chance to build my resilience and become a better version of myself. Finally, I've come to realize that developing emotional control and resilience is an ongoing journey. There's no finish line, no ultimate destination. It's about continuously refining these skills, reflecting on my experiences, and striving to be better. So, whether it's facing a challenging work project or dealing with personal relationships, I remind myself that I hold the reins. The ability to manage my emotions not only enriches my interactions, but also enhances my overall quality of life. Effective communication has always been a bit of a puzzle for me. How do you convey your thoughts and feelings clearly while also making sure you're genuinely connecting with the other person? It's like a dance where both partners need to be in sync to create something beautiful. I've learned that effective communication is not just about speaking clearly. It's also about listening with intention. Active listening is a game changer. I remember a time when I would get so caught up in what I wanted to say that I barely heard what others were expressing. It was almost as if I was waiting for my turn to talk rather than engaging in a true dialogue. Now, I make a conscious effort to really listen. This means putting my phone down, making eye contact, and being fully present in the conversation. The difference it makes is astounding. Not only do I understand others better, but they also feel valued and respected. There's a certain art to communicating with clarity and intention, too. I've found that being straightforward and authentic in my conversations fosters trust. People appreciate honesty, and when I communicate my thoughts clearly, it reduces misunderstandings and strengthens relationships. I've learned to express my feelings without sugarcoating them, which has led to deeper connections with friends, family, and colleagues. It feels liberating to speak my truth, while also being considerate of others' perspectives. Additionally, the feedback I receive from active listening has been invaluable. When I truly engage with someone, I can pick up on their emotions and needs. I remember a friend who was going through a tough time. Instead of offering advice right away, I simply listened to her concerns. By doing so, I was able to ask the right questions and provide support that was genuinely helpful. It's amazing how effective communication can transform not just the conversation, but also the relationship itself. Ultimately, I see effective communication and active listening as skills that can be cultivated over time. It takes practice and a commitment to being present, but the rewards are worth it. I've noticed that my relationships have become more meaningful, and I feel more connected to those around me. And isn't that what we all crave? To be understood and to understand others in return. It's a beautiful cycle that enriches our lives. Step 4. Aesthetics and personal presentation. When I think about aesthetics and personal presentation, it's hard not to reflect on the first impression I make on others. We live in a world where appearances can sometimes overshadow the essence of who we are. I've learned, however, that how I choose to present myself can be a powerful tool for expressing my authenticity. This doesn't mean I need to conform to societal standards of beauty or fashion. Rather, it's about aligning my outer presentation with my inner values. This alignment creates a sense of harmony that can be both grounding and liberating. I remember a time I attended a social gathering feeling a bit out of my element. I wore something I thought would impress others rather than something that felt true to me. The discomfort was palpable. I realized then that when I dress in ways that resonate with my identity, I not only feel more confident, but also attract people who appreciate me for who I genuinely am. It's fascinating how a simple outfit can serve as a conversation starter or a barrier. The key is to embrace my own style and wear it with pride, knowing that authenticity is attractive in its own right. The Stoics believed in simplicity, and I find that principle resonates deeply with me. It's easy to get caught up in trends and the pressure to look a certain way, but the Stoics teach us that true beauty often lies in simplicity and functionality. I've adopted a more minimalist approach, focusing on quality over quantity in my wardrobe. This shift has not only simplified my life, but also helped me cultivate a more intentional and authentic presentation. When I dress simply yet with intention, I feel liberated from the constraints of fashion expectations, allowing me to focus on deeper connections with those around me. I've also come to appreciate the role of grooming and personal hygiene in overall presentation. While it may seem superficial, taking care of myself is a form of self-respect. I've noticed that when I prioritize grooming, I naturally carry myself with more confidence. It's not about impressing others, but rather honoring my own well-being. A well-groomed individual often radiates a sense of self-assuredness that can draw people in. This doesn't mean I need to spend hours preparing. It's about establishing a routine that reflects care for myself and, by extension, respect for those I interact with. Ultimately, the most important aspect of aesthetics and personal presentation is the story I tell through my choices. Every element, from the clothes I wear to the way I carry myself, conveys a message about who I am. I strive to make that message one of authenticity, simplicity, and self-acceptance. When I present myself genuinely, I find that I attract connections that are real and meaningful, allowing me to engage with others in ways that go beyond the surface. It's a powerful reminder that our outward expression can serve as a bridge to deeper relationships, and embracing our true selves is the best way to foster genuine connections. Reflecting on the intersection of aesthetics and Stoic principles, I find it intriguing how these ancient teachings can inform modern self-presentation. Stoicism encourages us to focus on what truly matters, our character and virtue, rather than the fleeting opinions of others. This mindset has shifted my perception of aesthetics from a superficial concern to a manifestation of my core values. I've learned to view my appearance as an extension of my inner self, one that should reflect my commitment to authenticity and integrity. One of the most liberating aspects of embracing Stoicism is the understanding that external validation is ultimately inconsequential. I used to care deeply about how others perceive me, often adjusting my appearance to fit in or gain approval. However, I realized that this approach only led to anxiety and dissatisfaction. By aligning my presentation with Stoic principles, I've begun to prioritize my own values over societal expectations. This shift has helped me cultivate a sense of inner peace, knowing that I am living in accordance with who I truly am. Embracing simplicity is another crucial element of this alignment. The Stoics valued a life free from excess, advocating for moderation in all things. I've taken this lesson to heart by curating a wardrobe that is both functional and meaningful. Each piece I own has been chosen with intention, serving a purpose in my life rather than merely filling space. This conscious approach to aesthetics not only simplifies my choices, but also reinforces my commitment to living authentically. I find joy in wearing items that resonate with my values, and this authenticity shines through in my interactions with others. Moreover, the Stoic practice of mindfulness plays a significant role in how I present myself. By being present in the moment, I can make thoughtful choices about my appearance rather than reacting impulsively to trends or external pressures. This mindfulness allows me to connect more deeply with myself and others, creating a sense of authenticity that is palpable. When I approach my presentation with intention, I find that I not only feel better about myself, but also invite others to engage with me on a deeper level. In a world that often prioritizes superficiality, embracing Stoic principles in my aesthetics has been a transformative journey. It has taught me that true beauty lies in authenticity, simplicity, and alignment with my core values. By presenting myself genuinely, I create opportunities for meaningful connections and foster a sense of belonging in a world that can sometimes feel disconnected. The Stoic teachings remind me that the essence of who I am is far more important than any fleeting impression, allowing me to navigate life with confidence and grace. Step 5. The impact of authenticity in aesthetics. As I reflect on the impact of authenticity in aesthetics, I can't help but notice how powerful it is to show up as my true self. Authenticity isn't just a buzzword. It's a way of life that influences how I present myself to the world. When I align my appearance with my true self, I feel a sense of freedom that transcends societal norms. This liberation allows me to express my individuality and embrace my uniqueness, which is incredibly empowering. One of the most rewarding aspects of embracing authenticity is the connections I forge with others. When I present myself genuinely, I invite others to do the same. It creates an environment of trust and openness, where people feel comfortable sharing their true selves without fear of judgment. I've noticed that when I dress in a way that reflects my personality, others often respond positively, leading to deeper and more meaningful conversations. It's as if authenticity acts as a magnet, drawing people in and fostering genuine connections. Moreover, the impact of authenticity extends beyond personal interactions. It influences how I perceive myself. When I look in the mirror and see someone who embodies their true self, I feel a sense of pride and confidence. This self-assuredness radiates outward, affecting how I engage with the world around me. The more I embrace my authenticity, the more I realize that it's not about conforming to societal standards, but about celebrating my individuality. This shift in perspective has allowed me to navigate life with a renewed sense of purpose and clarity. I've also come to understand that authenticity in aesthetics doesn't mean I have to forgo personal growth or evolution. It's about embracing who I am at this moment while remaining open to change and self-discovery. I've learned to view my presentation as a reflection of my journey, a canvas that evolves as I grow. This mindset has helped me appreciate the beauty and imperfection and the unique story that each choice tells. It's a reminder that authenticity is not static. It's a dynamic process that can adapt and flourish over time. Ultimately, the impact of authenticity in aesthetics is profound. It transforms not only how I present myself, but also how I connect with others and perceive my own self-worth. By embracing my true self and aligning my appearance with my values, I create a ripple effect that fosters genuine relationships and encourages others to do the same. It's a beautiful journey of self-acceptance, and I'm grateful for the lessons learned along the way. Embracing authenticity in aesthetics has become a cornerstone of my life, reminding me that the most powerful expression of beauty comes from being unapologetically myself. As we wrap up our exploration of the art of seduction through the lens of Stoicism, I want you to take a moment to reflect on something powerful. Attraction isn't just about looks. It's about the energy you bring into a room. Think about the last time someone captivated you with their presence. What was it about them? Was it their confidence, their calm demeanor, or their ability to listen without judgment? Now let's connect the dots. Remember the 5 steps we discussed? Each one is a tool you can wield to not only enhance your appeal, but also to cultivate deeper connections. Imagine applying these principles in your daily interactions. How might your relationships transform? What newfound confidence could you discover within yourself? But here's the challenge. I want you to implement just one of these steps today. Share your experience in the comments below. How did it feel? Did it change the way you interacted with others? Let's keep this conversation going. What other aspects of Stoicism do you think can enhance our attractiveness? Your insights could inspire others. So, hit that like button and subscribe for more wisdom that will not just change your mindset, but your life. Stay curious, my friends. Thank you so much for watching this video and joining me on this journey of exploring the art of seduction through the lens of Stoicism. Your presence here means a lot. If you found value in this content, I encourage you to subscribe to the Millennial Stoicism channel so you won't miss out on more wisdom that can transform your mindset and your life. I'd love to hear from you. Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below by writing, "I'm seductive." How does embracing authenticity change the way you interact with others? Your insights could inspire others and spark meaningful conversations. Don't forget to share this video with your friends and family. Let's spread the power of authentic living together. Reflection from Epictetus. As you navigate life, remember this. Authenticity is not just a choice, but a commitment to live in alignment with your true self. It is through this alignment that you discover the freedom to be unapologetically you. And in doing so, you become a beacon of strength and clarity in a world often clouded by pretenses. Embrace this path, for it leads not only to personal liberation, but also to deeper, more genuine connections with those around you.